the aforementioned Director of Clinical Operations at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, Deborah Spencer, who also is just recognized by the Chamber as their, I'm just trying to find it. Here it is. Hold on. It is, you are their unsung hero. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's really an honor, and I'm humbled by that nomination. But I must say that there is a hospital full of unsung heroes here at what Henry Ford West Bloomfield, and you know, my success is incumbent on their success. It's just been a teamwork. It's just not the frontline staff. It's our environmental people. It's our transporters, our lab, our facilities, our supply chain, pharmacy, lab. There's just so many people that have come together in an exceedingly challenging time to really take care of the patients that we serve and to take care of each other. And I'm just so thankful for them. So
Deborah Spencer joining us, Director of Clinical Operations, Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. We are so glad to have you here. Thank you for your effort, and please extend our greetings and well wishes to everybody. I'm sure, I'm sure as you woke up on some cold January morning, thinking ahead of what your spring was going to be like, you never in your wildest dreams imagined we'd be going through this. But it's here. You've confronted it. The team at Henry Ford Hospital has. And, now that we're through the worst of it, we got a long way to go. It's hardly over, but we're through at least. We understand where we're at. Is the reality of all of this set in with you and the people at Henry Ford? I mean, you folks are literally putting your lives on the line every day when you went to work.
Yes, Dave, I think it's starting to set in. I think that during the crisis, you're just sort of on, on fast forward, making decisions in the moment and really just trying to take care of the patient. So it really doesn't give you a lot of time to have, any insight into really what you're experiencing. And so, as we kind of step back from the situation and really have time to process what we've gone through, I think that, there are a variety of challenges. I mean, I think we're all going through a grieving process. I think, we're grieving those patients that we lost. We have families who are grieving patients, family members that they lost. There's kind of a grief process that really the loss of freedom. I mean, really the freedom that we took for granted. I mean, just being able to go to the store and interact with our families and develop relationships with other people. That's really been a significant change in all of our lives. And as we move forward, there's a bit of fear. Really, what does our new normal look like? There's a fear of the financial and economic loss that this crisis has really brought to us. So but I think we as humans, we're just resilient. I'm optimistic that we're going to get through this and we're going to come out of this the other side whole. And I think that what we need to understand is as a hospital and as a community, we need to support each other. We need to utilize resources to ensure that as we move through this process, we look at the well-being of the members of our team here at the hospital, as well as the well-being of the members of our community.
Well, and I hope that gets easier as time goes on. Deborah Spencer, Director of Clinical Operations. When you're charging the front line in a war, you can't always worry about your own personal safety. But as time goes on and things get a little bit more normal, hopefully that could be a higher priority. I appreciate you saying what you just said, and for me, it resonates as someone that comes in here and has a lot of information to share every day, but I try to do it in as lighthearted and optimistic a way as possible during these times. But then I'm not, working in a hospital where people are dying every day. So I appreciate your perspective and your thoughts, and it all hits home. Things are getting better, though. We are seeing improvement, and it literally, I mean, this could have been a bigger mess than it was. We are preparing for sending 1,000 1,000 patients to TCF and maybe another 1,000 patients out to Novi. I didn't have to do that. Did we ever get to a point at Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, where there were no beds available?
We did have periods of time where we were at capacity, but I must say that we had a plan. And so we were able to transfer patients that needed to be transferred in a very safe and timely manner. This is part of emergency preparedness. And, many of us have trained even at Homeland Security for situations like this, pandemics, epidemics. And so you never think that you're really going to need to utilize it, but we were prepared. And to be very honest with you, it necessitates that you make decisions very quickly and in a timely manner. And so we have a great team here, from our executive leadership team to our overall hospital leadership team to our emergency department leadership team. And so very quickly we made decisions and put some proactive plans in place so we could appropriately care for our patients while keeping our staff safe.
Deborah Spencer is with us. She's the Director of Clinical Operations, Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. I know you got new therapeutics now. That's got to be helping a little bit. But the thing that amazed me the most, and I hear this from the national news, but I really would love to hear it from you, because that's what this show is all about, because we find out all kinds of things that we didn't know when we talk to people on the front lines like yourself. But what we're hearing, that you're learning how to do this better in the ERs, in all across the hospital, in the intensive care rooms, that you're learning procedures and processes that are helping to save lives. Have you learned a lot through this whole thing?
We have learned a lot, and I think we'll take those lessons learned. So if we are ever faced with a crisis like this again, that we again take those lessons learned, and we have processes in place that are more of a proactive approach rather than looking at them from a crisis approach, so we can, maybe navigate this a little easier. I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to be a completely controlled situation, but it's really exacting control when you're in the midst of chaos. And I must say we did that well. And I walked through the units, and I honestly, from top to bottom of this hospital, was completely amazed at the teamwork and how people just stepped up to the plate, and they just did phenomenal and amazing things. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. Unless you've walked this, people can't understand. But again, you just saw heroes emerge every day. And sometimes those heroes emerged in places that you never expected them to emerge. And so, again, even though this was a very difficult situation, I'm coming through this with a new appreciation of, I just don't take things for granted. I don't take people for granted. I don't take your freedoms for granted. And just the little things that just make such a positive influence in our lives on a daily basis that we really need to embrace. I mean, even our community here in West Bloomfield, one day they pulled all their cars up and they cheered and honked and clapped for the staff coming in. Sounds like a small thing, but it brought our staff to tears. And it just, things like that, the food, it just makes a difference, that those random acts of kindness. I just want you all to know that they did not go unnoticed, and they meant a lot to us.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and nobody had to twist anyone's arms to get folks out at the hospital. There are people, everyone knows exactly what. I mean, we don't know the details, but we understand the contribution being made behind the walls. And thank you for also recognizing the first responders who are doing a really good job, and all the other people.
Awesome.
So, I see a day, Deborah Spencer, Director of Clinical Operations at Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, when we will be back in your parking lot like we were last fall with the tents and the dancing and the music and the fun. And this will be in the rearview mirror. We'll be able to celebrate the victories and mourn the losses and get back to our new normal, and things will be great again. It was so wonderful being out at the hospital last fall and being able to celebrate what a great facility you guys were. And that was a wonderful celebration. But listen, the last couple of months, if anyone wasn't clear about the contribution of your facility, and it's not just yours, it's every hospital around our country and around our county and our state, we are all clear. So a big, massive, collective thank you, and a thank you to Deborah Spencer for everything you do to keep things rocking and rolling over there at Henry Ford.
Thanks, Dave. And I want you to know that Henry Ford is here for our community. And so we have, if you need any care, please come to us. We've got screening processes in place to ensure the safety of our patients and families and our employees. And we are open for business.
Well, we understand that, and people are concerned. I'm glad you mentioned that. People are a little bit concerned. They're thinking in their back, well, I got to get this procedure, and now it's time we can get some of these elective procedures probably done. And am I going to go to Henry Ford and get COVID? You got it under control. I know you do, and I'm really glad you took an opportunity to remind people, and we're doing the same thing every day. Because I know you guys got to get back in your financial footing as well, too. And part of that is getting involved and getting all the other treatments that you have historically done back on track. So that will happen as well. Thank you, Deborah. Good to talk to you today. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dave. You take care now.
All right. What an amazing story of great, great, great heroism going on at that hospital and every other hospital all across our region.